Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Today is Friday, November 7th, 2025, coming up on Roland Martin Unfiltered, streaming live on the Black Star Network. A big political shakeup in Mississippi as Republicans lose their supermajority and the Democrats flip 3 key Senate seats. We'll talk to the newly elected senators and representative about this historic win. It's day 38, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Democrats unveil a new proposal to end the stalemate. Are they going to cave? Will they give in? Also, we joined by Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett to talk about all of these issues. In our Black Star Network Marketplace segment, we'll showcase a jewelry collection that celebrates Black excellence and craftsmanship. Also, on today's show, a media writer criticizes CNN for their streaming service election night broadcast that had Ben Shapiro, Charlamagne the God, and some others. It looked mighty similar to what we did. But trust me, it ain't what we did. I've got some thoughts. It's time to bring the funk on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Of course, which is led by a Texas A&M graduate whose team is 8-0 and number 3 in the country, Matt Manning. It's time to bring the funk. Let's go.
He's got it. Whatever the miss, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, y'all. It's Roland Martin, Rolling with Roland now. He's funky, he's fresh, he's real, the best, you know he's Roland Martin now.
I told y'all every vote matters. In Mississippi, for the first time in more than a decade, Republicans no longer hold a supermajority in the state Senate. This shift follows a federal judge's ruling that Mississippi's old Supreme Court election map violated the Voting Rights Act by diluting the voting power of black voters, prompting the state of forcing them to redraw the map to reflect the population better. As a result, Democrats flipped 3 key Senate seats and 1 House seat, including a major win for former Hattiesburg Mayor Johnny Dupree, who captured District 45 with about 70% of the vote. Incumbent Democratic Senator Reginald Jackson of Marks secured re-election in Senate District 11 with 67% of the vote, defeating his Republican opponent, Kendall Pruitt. And history was made in DeSoto County as Teresa Gillespie Isom became the first black woman ever elected to the state Senate from that area. While Republicans still hold the majority, the supermajority has dropped from 36 to 34 seats, meaning they'll need at least 1 Democrat to cross the aisle to pass major legislation or override a governor's veto. Joining us now is Mississippi State Senator Reginald Jackson, join us in a moment, who had to run again after 2 years because of the map. We also have State Senator-elect Teresa Gillespie Isom and State Representative-elect Justin Crosby. So, how y'all doing?
Doing well.
Glad to, let's see, can you hear us? Teresa, can you hear us? I don't think Teresa can hear us, folks. All right, Teresa, can you hear me? All right, so let's see here. Let me do a roll call here. Justin, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
All right, Reginald, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so y'all, let me know. Let's figure out why Teresa cannot hear us. Teresa, we got you. We're trying to figure it out. So, control room, y'all let me know what's going on. So, but let me first start with you, Justin. Walk us through, again, for people who don't understand what was happening here. This is the result of lawyers, of lawsuits, trying to force these white Republicans in Mississippi to stop screwing over black people. And let's just be honest, this state has been screwing over black voters since 1890 with that constitutional convention.
Absolutely, sir. It's been the goal of how do we separate 1.2 million black people in one state, and it's been gerrymandering ever since I was basically a young man. What we have is that we had to have courts come in and do the job of the people, and I'm thankful because I wouldn't be here today as the representative-elect without that. So it is a shame we had to do that, but again, we're excited.
Hello.
We're excited to get to Jackson and get going.
I can't hear.
All right, so we're not sure why Teresa cannot hear. So actually, let me do this here. Control room, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let y'all try to figure that out, because so for the people who are watching, they're actually on one thread. So we can hear 2, we can't hear 1. Okay, Teresa, you can hear us now?
I can hear now.
Okay, there we go. All right. And if y'all are sitting here watching the show, stop texting Teresa so her screen doesn't go away when we're live. So we have them on a FaceTime.
Nobody's texting.
Right. Well, what happens when your screen keeps pausing, and so that's what happens. So Justin, I appreciate it. Harold as well. So first of all, Teresa, we still have you, right?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, got it. So let's just talk about what took place on Tuesday night with the election. For folks who don't understand, how big is this?
Well, on Tuesday night, we had a remarkable race there in DeSoto County. And we had a turnout on my race of 63.3%. So the people came out. We had canvassed all through the DeSoto and Tunica and Walls. So they came out and they showed that they were ready to have a change in DeSoto County.
When you say 63%, that was the total turnout, meaning 63% of the...
That was my result.
Got it.
My election result.
Gotcha. So that's so you won with 63% of the vote. That's what you got.
I did.
Got it.
Right.
Got it. Okay, I got it. All right then. Justin.
Yes, sir.
And also Reginald. So Reginald, give me a sense of your race. What was that turnout, and how critically important was it for black voters to understand that it's one thing to win in the courts, but you still got to show up on election day?
Right. Well, I was an incumbent. Due to the redistricting, the lines were redrawn, and I had to run again. I did have a Republican opponent, and we were able to come home with 67% of the total vote. But our black voter population has been taken down by about 10% from where it was. So that's a testament to the people coming out to vote. I'd wager to say that the other side did not believe that we would vote the way that we did, and we came out on top, and we won very, very big in District 11.
I'll tell you, Reginald. I'm sorry, Justin. The thing that I keep saying over and over again on this show is that where our voters are significant, we could win numerous elections. One, if we're turning out, we could stop a lot of these supermajorities by showing up and showing out. And I keep putting the number that what we should be desiring is 70% turnout, meaning if we've got 100,000 black folks registered, I don't want 40% turning out. I don't want 40,000, 100,000. I want 70,000, 100,000, because when you vote at those numbers, you win.
Right.
Absolutely, sir. And I totally agree. Again, I'm in one of the most rural districts in Mississippi. And so my turnout, I got 53% of the vote, but my turnout was 29.4%. Which is, again, a move in the right direction, but still incredibly low. I do think, though, what started this conversation, what started this movement for all of us, was that we went out and got in the streets. We went and talked to people. We localized this election. I went to a place called Woodland, Mississippi. It's been a long time since I went down a street that had no concrete, just clay roads. And they want to talk about paving those roads. They don't care about Russia, Ukraine. They want to know, hey, you're black, I'm black. Will you represent me and my interests? And I think that's what you saw on Tuesday, was that we got out, went and spoke to people, and they responded.
What is your agenda, Justin? What's your focus? What do you want to achieve?
So number one is rebuilding that bridge. I think as Democrats, nationally and locally, I think we have some rebuilding to do. I think we have to rebuild trust in our people. I think that we show that they will come out for us, but now what are we going to do? For me, that starts with the school vouchers. Again, I went to school right here in Aberdeen, where I'm from, a great public high school that you're already not fully funding. So if you're already not fully funding us, why would you have a voucher program that continues to dilute that program? And so for me, that's step one. Then the next, of course, is going to be healthcare. We have rural hospitals that are on the brink of closing. Again, these rural areas where we're from, you're already 45 minutes, an hour away from the rural hospitals. Where do we go if they close? So we've got a lot of day one issues to talk about, but I think those are two key.
Teresa, what's your agenda? Teresa, can you hear me?
I can hear now.
All right,
I couldn't hear anything when Justin was speaking.
I got you. What's your focus? What is your agenda once you get sworn in?
Well, my agenda is dealing with the full funding of our public schools and also with affordable health care. I have been a nurse and a nurse administrator of a nursing school. So being that the school system is being affected and also with the health care, those are my two major issues that I want to focus in on once I am sworn in.
And Reginald.
I echo the sentiments of my newly elected colleagues. We're focusing on public school systems and our healthcare systems here in Mississippi. We're the sickest state in this nation by far, and we're trying to get better. Now, we have people in place now that could help us do that. So I'm looking forward to what's going on here in the state of Mississippi. I'm looking forward to getting the voters more engaged and keeping them engaged and increasing that turnout. Right now, we are seeing a change. We're seeing a change in attitude and perception of politics. The people of this state are waking up, and they know that it is time for a change. And I'm excited to be a part of that change. So my focus is to get those people more engaged and more likely to come out and vote and support the policies that will best support them in a healthy Mississippi.
All right, folks. Well, look, I certainly appreciate it. Congratulations and good luck with your newfound power. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
and I'm going to bring in our panel. Joining us right now, Michael Imhotep, host African History Network show out of Detroit. Candace Kelly, legal analyst and host Not All Hood, South Orange, New Jersey. Matt Manning, Howard University graduate, civil rights attorney out of Corpus Christi. Never even went to the University of Texas, but he's wearing their stuff. And he's not doing like I am, because I'm repping Dillard today. But glad to have that. Matt, what are y'all like, 20th or something like that? I can't even remember. It's way lower than where we are. Let me start with you, Candy. Yeah, you have nothing to say. Nothing. Not a word. Not a word. Yes.
I got something for you. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yes. No, you don't. No, you don't, because you won't be in the playoffs. All right, Candace, I'll start with you. We keep talking about power. And again, we're going to keep emphasizing to black folks, we got to maximize our power. I keep saying, if you in a room and it's dark and there's a lamp, you got to plug it in if you want to get some light. And I just think too many of our folks we're not maximizing our power. And we see what happens there. Districts were created. We turned out. Boom. They win.
Yeah, and a lot of the power has to do with actually knowing the system, because you have to get into the system, and ultimately the courts do decide a lot of the changes that actually go on. Now, do you want the Supreme Court today actually deciding something on that level? You do not the way that they're bent. But this is a time where the courts did step in, and it was advantageous. But people have to understand that every time we see something like this happens, you have to take the civic lesson in it. You have to know the local politics. You have to know who's on the school board. You have to know, what it means to be a governor, what it means to kind of go up that way and actually be a representative, be a congressperson, be someone who represents your state. You have to take notice of what's going on so that you can actually get in the game. I look at all of this and tell people, look at this as a civic lesson that you never, ever got in school, that you may not have even gotten in college, no matter where you got, not today's politics. So to see this actually happen and unfold the way that it has is really quite a remarkable event. I mean, I'm wondering how they are making people feel in light of the, 38th day of the government shutdown. But it's a feel-good energy that's out there to know that those three have made it this far. Very interested in seeing their agendas and how it will carry out.
Michael? Michael, we can barely hear you. Mike, your mic's not on. All right, y'all need to figure out. There we go.
Testing, can you hear me?
Now we got you. Go.
Okay. So this is a fantastic victory, and it shows what happens when lawsuits are filed to create the extra districts for African Americans. But also, when the representatives were speaking, they talked about being on the ground, communicating with constituents, communicating with voters about issues, whether it was rural hospitals, whether it was new roads, because they're dealing with clay roads. They were talking about issues that impacted them on the ground. And that's a lot different than what you'll see on MSNBC or CNN. Okay, so this is why this is important, and this shows what happens when African Americans mobilize. And my question would be, how do they keep these voters engaged? How do they keep them engaged through 2025 into 2026 for the midterm elections? I think that's extremely important.
Matt, lawyers matter.
Yeah, I echo.
Lawyers matter. Lawsuits matter, because that's what forced this change. The federal judge ruled.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Lawsuits matter, and we need to continue putting these suits in the court and making the courts make the right decisions. Now, Candace said something earlier I think is true. You know, the Supreme Court is on a horrible trajectory as we see them every time they rule in the ways they shouldn't be ruling. So, you know, I'm glad that here you have a lower court that made the right decision, and I'm hoping that they continue to hold their ground. And what I hope comes out of this is that what we just had with the elections across the country on Tuesday, I'm hoping that the Democrats there in Mississippi recognize how much power they have, and hopefully now really make the Republicans work with them and or just hold them hostage when they need to. Because I think the votes in Virginia and New Jersey and in New York City and in some other places indicate that people are okay and want the Democrats to play hardball. So now they've got better numbers to hopefully do that, because that supermajority has been nixed. So I'm glad to see this, and you're right, lawyers and courts do matter. Today is actually Love Your Lawyer Day, so y'all show me some love.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I know you're going to say something.
What did you say it is?
Today is Love Your Lawyer Day.
Candace, were you aware of this?
National Love Your Lawyer Day. Mm-hmm.
I will say I'm not sure where you're going with this, but I'm a co-sign. Matt, I'm a co-sign. Matt, you always co-sign everything I say, so you know what? It's paying off right now.
You said I always co-sign. She's like, you don't even be thinking about what I say, Matt. You just co-sign it. Don't do me like that, Candace.
No, I'm going to co-sign what you say.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Love Your Lawyer Day.
Don't do that.
I am uniquely aware.
Don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh my God, let me go to break. We come back, we're going to
Matt, I got you.
Somebody need to have them. Somebody need to have them, because Arch Manning sure don't. We're going to go to break. We come back, we're going to hear from Bishop William Barber. Keep putting pressure on these Democrats to keep fighting the Republicans when it comes to health care. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered right here on the Black Star Network.
Violent white supremacy is, quote, the most persistent and lethal threat in the homeland.
The greatest terrorist threat to the homeland is the homegrown violence stream, including hate crime committed on behalf of some kind of white supremacist ideology.
They are coming after everything in Black America.
MAGA and Donald Trump are specifically targeting Black America. They are going after the money. Attack Black Lives Matter. Attack critical race theory. Attack woke, DEI. MAGA wants to defund Black America. This is a perfect example of their desire to completely degrade and de-emphasize Black people.
If in this country right now, you have people get up in the morning and the only thing they can think about is how many people they can hurt, and they got the power, that's a time for mourning.
For better or worse, what makes America special, it's that legal system that's supposed to protect minorities from the tyranny of the majority.
We are at a point of a moral emergency. We must raise a voice of outrage. We must raise a voice of compassion. And we must raise a voice of unity.
We are not in a crisis of party versus party. We are in a crisis of civilization, a human rights crisis, and a crisis of democracy itself. And guess what? You've been chosen to make sure that those that would destroy, those that would hate, don't have the final say, and they don't ultimately win.
Hello, I'm Marissa Aisha Mitchell, a news anchor at Fox 5 DC.
Hey, what's up? It's Tammy Roman, and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
It is day 38, the longest government shutdown in American history. On the Senate floor, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer laid out a new Democratic counterproposal for ending the government shutdown. Check this out.
We'd like to offer a simple proposal that would reopen the government and extend the ACA premium tax credits simultaneously, and then have the opportunity to start negotiating longer-term solutions to health care costs. Let's do all three. I've spoken with my caucus, and Democrats are offering a very simple compromise. Democrats are ready to clear the way to quickly pass a government funding bill that includes health care affordability. Leader Thune just needs to add a clean one-year extension of the ACA tax credits to the CR so that we can immediately address rising health care costs. That's not a negotiation. It's an extension of current law, something we do all the time around here, as we all know. But we also offer this. Let's create a bipartisan committee that will continue negotiations after the government reopens on reforms, ahead of next year's enrollment period, to provide long-term certainty that health care costs will be more affordable. This proposal reopens the government and ensures working families who are shopping right now for their health care get certainty and financial relief. While open enrollment has begun, insurers can update their rates after we pass a simple extension of the tax credits. With this approach, we do not negotiate health care in the shutdown, as Leader Thune has maintained he wishes, and the American people get the tax credit extension they want. That is what many of our Republican colleagues have floated over the last 6 weeks as a compromise, a one-year tax credit extension and reforms to the credit beyond that. We will agree with the Republican request not to start negotiations until after the government reopens. All Republicans have to do is say yes to extend current law for 1 year. It makes sense. And since what we're proposing is only a simple extension of current law, the Senate could do this within a few hours. This is a reasonable offer that reopens the government, deals with health care affordability, and begins a process of negotiating reforms to the ACA tax credits for the future. Now, the ball is in the Republicans' court. We need Republicans to just say yes.
Now, the proposal comes amid mounting pressure from unions and fellow Democrats who emphasize the urgency of resolving the shutdown. However, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson remains non-committal about voting to extend the subsidies, leaving uncertainty around any deal. Now, y'all want to hear some stupidity? So, Republican leader John Thune, this is what he said. He said something that was just so profoundly dumb to me that it's unbelievable. I can't believe he actually invoked Capitol Police. Listen to this.
Junior senator from Connecticut certainly believes in saying the quiet part out loud. This is what he said, and I quote, "I think there will be some pretty substantial damage done to a Democrat brand that has been rehabilitated if on the heels of an election in which the people told us to keep fighting, we immediately stop fighting." He said that on a podcast yesterday. He went on to say that the 2026 election is just 12 months away. And if we surrender without having gotten anything, and we cause a lot of folks in this country who had started to believe in the Democrat Party to retreat again, I worry that it will be hard to sort of get them back up off the mat in time for next fall's election cycle, end quote. Let me repeat that, Mr. President. This is what he said. I worry that it will be hard to sort of get them back up off the mat in time for next fall's election cycle, end quote. I'll let that sink in for a minute, Mr. President. I don't think it's a secret to anybody that the Democrats shut down the government for political reasons. There's been plenty of news coverage of the incredible pressure that their far-left base has been exerting. But in case anyone was still under the impression that Democrats were driving this shutdown toward its 40th day out of concern for the American people, well, the junior Democrat from Connecticut pretty handily dispelled that notion. Again, that's what he said. I worry that it'll be hard to sort of get them back off the mat in time for next fall's election cycle, end quote. And just in case anyone needed any additional testimony, Axios reported on Wednesday, and I quote, a set of post-election talking points circulated.
All right, so here's what was interesting. Thune was complaining about and saying then how dare Democrats should come in here. They're being protected by Capitol Police, and these people can't pay their bills, and their kids are going out. You mean the same Capitol Police that y'all want to put a plaque up honoring them that was passed by law? Oh, both Capitol Police. Okay, I got you. Joining us right now, co-convening the Repairs of the Breach Poor People's Campaign, Bishop William Barber. Bishop Barber, you heard Schumer talk about this compromise. What should we be doing? Do we accept this, or we could keep the pressure on?
Well, first of all, that word compromise just bothers me so much with Democrats. Even when you have a pure, straightforward moral issues, you told people that you were going to fight to get the health care and to protect health care. Now you're talking about compromise. Why would you compromise on the Affordable Care Act? It's already a compromise. Most people wanted universal health care. Most people want what every senator and every congressperson gets when they get elected to Congress. Every time they talk about compromise, it looks weak. It is weak. People are fired up. People are standing. Why would you? Even Murphy, who's a senator out of Connecticut, was saying, why would you stop fighting now? And then, Roland, why would you trust them with an open government? Because you know, like I know, as soon as they get back, they're going to lie and change and not do what they promised, find ways to get around it. I mean, this is who you're dealing with. You can't suddenly change them. They have to be beaten by people standing on their moral high ground. People are already hurting. In the South, for instance, there are only 2 or 3 states in the South that have even expanded healthcare, even bought into the Affordable Care Act and Medicaid expansion. And so why stop now? At the very moment that people are standing up, well, why did the Democrats always have to come to the table with the compromise instead of letting the Republicans come and just stand on your point? Our point is leave the Affordable Care Act alone. Don't try to desubsidize it, and we can open the government back up. Vote to do that. Vote to extend. It's clear. It's so clear that why would you mess it up by adding something else into the mix and talking about another compromise? And these so-called moderates, Dr. King said the greatest problem to the civil rights community were moderates who were more interested in order and looking good than dealing with problems. And they're going to, every time, get us in more and more trouble. And the people are really sick of this. Stand on your principles, man. That's what we need. And we need to be calling them, Roland. Everybody ought to be calling them. And don't let them say, well, people are hurting. People have been hurting. Even before all of this, 140 million people in poverty, 87 million people uninsured or underinsured, some million people without a living wage. Don't talk about people are hurting now. They've been hurting. And if that's the issue, then you should have been fighting a long time ago, for living wage. This is the same group, Roland, that when we could have had passed living wages, almost $16 an hour in 2021, Democrats, these moderates, joined the Republicans in the Senate and blocked living wages. It's the same group. They always end up leaning into their corporate sponsors or whoever they are and walking away from the people. And it's wrong, and we need to cry it out and say it and call in and push and push and push. Don't you give up now. Don't you turn back now. Don't do that, because that is actually the wrong place to be in this moment.
So on that particular point, again, so for the folks who are watching, the folks who are listening, the action that you want them to take, you want them to call Chuck Schumer's office and say, take the compromise off the table, and specifically say what?
Specifically say, stay where you started. You said that your goal was to protect the Affordable Care Act. You said that you were against the big, ugly, deadly, destructive bill that would take 20-some million people's health care. You said that you were going to protect the extended, not for a, but you protect them, period. You were going to make it so that never would they touch that. And that needs to be your position. What's going to happen magically in a year? What is this group that's so-called going to get in and compromise? Again, Roland, it's already a compromise. I want folks to hear that. The Affordable Care Act in itself is a compromise because it's not universal health care. So, one, stay where you started. Stay on the wall. Stay on there. Don't let them push you off. Stay at that point. Take your hands off health care. Don't touch the subsidies. Don't try to change it. None of that. And if they can agree, the Republicans, you want them to say yes to that rather than you saying, oh, here we are. We just want to fix it for a year. Just don't touch it for a year. And listen to this, Roland. If they do it a year, then this is what people need to hear. Let's just say they will agree to this. A year would put you 2 weeks after the elections in 2026. So now you've taken a political issue off the table. In other words, there are times that politicians need to pay for the consequences of their action. Don't take this issue off the table at the very moment that people are coming alive and standing strong and refusing to go along with their lives anymore. This is the wrong time to be talking about compromise. They should be talking about commitment.
So many different folk, to your point. We saw what happened election night. We saw folk coming out. We saw folk who were saying, hey, we want to see change. We saw red seats that were flipped as well. And this is not a moment to actually slow your momentum down. You got Donald Trump over there. He's freaking out so much, he's demanding Republicans get rid of the filibuster.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, Roland. We had mayor seats in North Carolina. And, I'm repairs non-politics. But we had mayor seats when we thought would go a certain direction, and the turnout changed them in North Carolina. All over the country, not just in New York. Mississippi broke the Republicans' veto-proof majority in Mississippi, of all places. And so again, 7 million people in the streets just a few weeks ago, no King's Day. Moral Monday's picking up, clergy and impacted people. We were just in the Capitol last week meeting with Hakeem Jeffries, where impacted people, black and white and others, made just saying, hold on. Don't change. These are people who really are hurting, but they recognize they will hurt worse if we allow these extremist MAGA folk any room to further destroy health care. And if they get the government back open, that's what they're going to do. They're lying. You cannot trust them in a negotiation. When have they ever kept their word in a negotiation? The problem is they continue to deal, and the Senate always ends up doing it. They call themselves compromise. So they compromise on the Voting Rights Act. Guess what, Roland? We don't have a Voting Rights Act. They compromise in some ways on this big, ugly, deadly bill. What do we end up? We end up with a bill, 22 million people losing health care, 16 million people losing health care, 22 million people using SNAP. Compromise in a time that calls for courage is actually insane.
I saw this clip. I was coming in, and Mehdi Hassan was on the Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne the God said that that the Democrats, should vote to end the shutdown. And Mehdi said, why? He said Republicans are in control. They got the House, they got the Senate, they got the White House. He said, and many said the Republicans are acting like petulant children. And then I think Charlemagne said, well, that's why Democrats should do it. He's like, because the Republicans are not going to do it. And then Mehdi said, why is it up to why do the Democrats have to always be the grown-ups? Why do they always have to be the ones that say the Republicans? He said that the Republicans get to say and do whatever they want because they know that Democrats are going to be the ones who are reasonable. So he said, hell no. He said, sit there and force them to say, it's your shutdown, you have the power, you end it.
Well, not only that, the government didn't shut down because Democrats just wanted to shut it down. It shut down because the Republicans were going to destroy the Affordable Care Act. Let's get that straight. That's why they shut it down, because they were going to destroy and the Democrats refused to go along with the demands of Trump, so they shut the government down. They shut it down because they would rather steal, take food from the poor and rob health care from the sick. Let's be clear what this is about. Everybody needs to be clear. It's not just about that they have the power, they have the majority. Nobody wins a majority. When they win a majority, has the right to run roughshod over the Constitution, have a right to violate the Constitution. That's what they have done with their power. They have given more money. They have transferred more money from the poor and working people than was transferred from the slaves to the slave master. With their power, they passed a bill that will cost 51,000 people their lives, 51,000 people their lives in the first year because of what's being taken in health care. And Senator Murphy the other day reminded folks, he said, this is not about Democrat and Republican. This is about life and death. If they would have kept the government open and would have allowed them to do what they were going to do to undermine and destroy the Affordable Care Act, for every 500,000 people, Roland, that lose health care, something in the neighborhood of 2,800 to 3,000 people die. That's what this is about. And this is happening in a time when 800 people are already dying every day from poverty, from the policies that keep poverty alive in this country that doesn't have to exist. So I would say, even to my brothers, whoever they are, just get our facts straight. This is not a game. This is not about who has power and just letting them do what they want to do. This is about life and death. The Democrats had to make a stand. Otherwise, millions and millions of people would lose the very thing that every member of Congress gets when they get elected. And I wish more people would talk about that and say, listen, you got people in Congress, in the United States Senate, and in the House who before they get elected, they may not even have health care, or they've got just a little bit. As soon as they get elected, they get the best health care in the entire world. What kind of sickness is in your spirit that get that, and then once you get it, you don't want the people that elected you or the people from your state to have the same thing? Yeah, go ahead.
So Bishop Barber, so again, when we talk about what's going on, right? So the increase in premiums, these letters have started going out.
Yes, sir.
So some will say, well, that's already happened. So people are hurting. You've got folks not getting paychecks. You've got SNAP benefits being cut. So therefore, if you extend the government shutdown, then you're further hurting those people. And since they're going to raise premiums, there's really nothing you could do. So Democrats should capitulate. They should go ahead and say, well, we'll give in. Let's go ahead and reopen the government. Again, what do you say to those folks who might even say, well, wait a minute, Schumer's offering a 1-year compromise. Why not take that and reopen now and then fight 6-9 months down the road?
Well, first of all, let me just take the end. We ought to fight. Number two, you got to look at the history of who you're dealing with. Every time they get 1-year extensions, they come right back to the same thing. And I think we're arguing it from the wrong perspective. See, this is what I think Democrats should do first. before they put anything on the table or compromise and whatnot. Bring everybody you can to the Capitol that's going to be hurt by what they're doing, who are currently losing. They could do that. They could summon everybody from their district that are getting letter and let those folks speak. Let those people tell you what to do. I can tell you that the people we took last week, we didn't talk, Roland, for them. They talked for themselves. They said it's some pain now, but don't give these people the power to hurt us anymore. Yes, we're hurting, but hold the line. Put us on TV. Put us in front of the American people. That's part of the reason that sometimes you end up having to offer compromise, because you continue to argue without the people. You know, like I know, when Republicans want to get something, the first thing they do is put a face on it. They put a face on it. And so rather than they had an insurrection, why not in this moment right now, headed toward Thanksgiving, why not Democrats take the time to mobilize thousands of people to come in the halls on Capitol, have a public hearing outside on the steps of the Capitol, and let people come up, the people that are like the young boy that got his letter the other day, he has cerebral palsy. You know, bring them up and let them talk. Let them say, not only do we not want you to compromise, we don't want a compromise coming out of this. We want you to take your damn hands off our health care. And if you're going to compromise from a position of strength, not from a position of, well, we're going to offer you a year and then we're going to bring a bipartisan group together. There's no bipartisanism in the Congress anymore. You got MAGA. You don't even have Republicans. You got MAGA and Democrats and shades of Democrats. They are following the lead of Donald Trump. He's already said what he wants. And I tell you, if they get back in, there is no reason, and there is no law that says, Roland, they have to keep that compromise once they open. So let me just say that to folks. Understand where we are. They could say, yes, we will compromise, so forth, and then turn right around once the government opens and renege on it. They've done it before, and they could very well do it again.
Questions from the panel. Candace, you first.
Well, you know, I firmly agree. I mean, what are you going to do with 1 year? Because in 1 year, you'll be back at the same position that you will again. You talk about gathering people together and bringing them down and making sure their voices are heard. What really is the best way to do that in terms of the time, in terms of how quickly one would want these subsidies to be put back in place? When we're talking about bringing people together, it takes a lot of organization. And I'm wondering what you would believe would be the first step in making sure that people's voices are heard in some way, on some level.
Well, first of all, they need to turn it into a campaign, and not a moral campaign, and not just merely a political campaign. And what do we do in campaigns? You can say, if Roland Martin was running for president and he got a campaign, he could say, I'm going to Houston by Monday, and Monday they would have a stadium packed. Go find those folks. Go find those folks there and turn them loose on this. See, run it like a campaign. You know, they are running a campaign of meanness. We need to run a crusade of love and a crusade of justice, right? So there are people out here that know how to do this. You know, they know how to do it. They could mass mobilize in a moment and turn some of this money. You know, what do we spend $10 billion on the last election? Well, take the $500 million and get buses and everything and get people up here. This could be done, but you have to decide. And this is what I'm concerned about. I wonder sometimes, particularly after the election in New York and some other things we see, if there are Dems who don't really want to see a massive movement of the people. Because a massive movement of the people is not just going to change MAGA, it's going to change Dems.
Before I go to Matt, Bishop Barber, a federal appeals court is leaving in place a lower court decision that requires Donald Trump and his administration to swiftly provide full benefits to the 42 million people who are on SNAP. It was from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit that made it clear because Trump appealed that lower court decision. They said, the appeals court said, no, you got to send him the money.
That's right. Got to send him the money. And if he doesn't, we're in constitutional crisis. And that's where we're really headed with this, because this business of him saying, well, I'm going to do partial, I'm going to do a little bit. And by the way, the people are hungry now. You know, my wife pastors, and she's getting call after call after call from all these agencies now trying to find out where there's food, where there's what's going on. You know, again, you got these people, Roland, that know how to do mass organization. They've got mass money. Set up, if you really want to be radical Democrat, set up a massive food bank right on the steps of the Capitol and have people come there and get their food and testify. I mean, this is the moment we got to do things that are different, that are radical, that put a face on this so that it's not just a left versus right argument, a Dem versus Republican, that we really, really expose that this is about life and death. And I want to keep emphasizing that. To your panel, we passed a bill, the Congress passed a bill, even with that, the one that took food stamps and SNAP, and now the additional things that's happening with SNAP, that when that bill was signed, we signed the death certificates of 51,000 people. Just that has not been talked about enough. That has not been put out there enough. We keep running from that issue, and this is fundamentally a moral issue about life and death. And Dems should be figuring out, how do we take the same campaign energy when we're running for office and apply it to this moment. And you remember, Roland, back in the day when a president had a budget or something, they would get on the road.
Yep.
And they would start promoting it everywhere. Well, that needs to happen right now, but different than it being on the road, we ought to make the people in D.C. have to see the people they're hurting.
Yep, absolutely. Put a face on it. Matt.
So my question, Reverend Dr. Barber, is I agree with you completely. I'm just interested in your thought about how the Dems shape that messaging. I know you're talking about them doing it as a campaign and framing it morally, which makes perfect sense. But I think their fear is that if they let it languish too long, they're going to look like they played into the suffering of the people. I mean, I think you spoke to that. So how do they need to shape that messaging now so on the back end of this shutdown, it doesn't look like they played into that, callously?
Well, the people want to come and speak. That's one thing that I'm bringing to you from being around. We've been doing Moral Mondays in 10 southern states, and the folk that are coming to Iowa, they want to come to D.C. They want to speak. And actually, you are stronger if you had thousands of people to come and had around-the-clock testifying of those people and people listening. Then you could say we're responding to what the people want. But let the people say, because there are moments that people will say, I'm going to suffer anyway. Let me choose the suffering. Let me choose it. And the suffering I choose, is the one that's going to ensure that they don't do the ultimate damage. So I think there's a way of letting the people speak. But the problem is we haven't done that. Even when they were working on that, the big, bad, ugly, deadly bill, for too long, Dems allowed it to be just a political bill rather than a moral issue and bringing people in. I don't know, and I'll be first to say everything that will happen if we do this. But I know what's going to happen if we don't. What's going to happen if we don't is a few folk going to get in a room, do a compromise, and we're going to be right back in the same place. And we may be in a worse place because we're dealing with people who have no credibility, no conviction, and no commitment to the truth. They will lie to you to get what they want and then turn right around and do what they want. We've seen that.
Michael.
Reverend William Barber, we've seen Trump delay SNAP payments to put pressure on Democrats and their constituents. We've seen him rescind construction projects like for New York, New Jersey, the $18 billion tunnel to put economic pressure on Hakeem Jeffries and Senator Schumer. Do you think Democrats need to organize and their constituents to organize to put economic pressure on Republicans? And as Dr. King taught us, to redistribute the pain through targeted, sustained economic withdrawal strategies. maybe target the top 3 or 4 corporations that help finance these Republicans and Trump to put them in power. This is a perfect time of the year because we're going into the Christmas season. What are your thoughts on that? Has there been any talk of economic withdrawal strategies to put economic pressure on Republicans?
There is some conversation about that, recognizing that there has to be multiple strategies. One of the things you learn, even if you go back to the Montgomery movement, I don't want to go too far, people think it was just one thing. It was multiple strategies.
Yep.
It was economic, it was legal, and that does not change. Litigation, agitation, mobilization, voter participation, economic power, economic protest as well. I think it needs to be, yes, it needs to be across the board. And I think that one of the things we need to look at was how we go into this season politically. Roland and I are getting ready to convene a group really soon to take a look at, what really, what number should we be looking at, even in terms of voting, to raise the number of African Americans and others that turn out that could make some of this gerrymandering and become dummymandering. Because, for instance, in my state, what they're doing to the 1st Congressional District, and we're talking about both in that district, since they want to challenge it, we're talking about some economic boycott issues, but we're also talking about some massive voter mobilization because they have drawn these maps based on a 45% turnout, which means if we do a 55% turnout, the maps get turned over. So I think my answer to your simple question is yes. We should be, the Dems or whoever and Margaret should be looking at every area. Now, the one thing you have to do, and as you said, I love what you said about targeted. Let's go back to something Bayard Rustin said. He said, if you're going to start a targeted economic pressure, you don't go everywhere and try to do it all over at the same time. You have to target. Right. Whether in a state or whether it be you can't just announce it, and you don't want to do that unless you're serious about it. And that's why, again, one of the things I think that could make people more serious about what you're saying is to first see the faces of the people. This thing is still too technical. It's still too technical, right? And we're trying, small groups are trying with the few dollars that we have and trying to mobilize and push out. But I contend that the powers that be that claim they care for these folk, that have all of this money, are to move from a inside the beltway political strategy to a campaign strategy. And that campaign strategy ought to include multiple layers of pushback, even the economic piece.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Bishop William Barber, always a pleasure. We got to keep the pressure up.
Thank you now. Take care, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. All right, we come back. Corrupt as Donald Trump. More pardons of corrupt people. We'll tell you all about it. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Don't forget to support the work that we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. Your dollars make it possible. Plus to cover stories that matter. We, of course, are focused on some new products, hiring some new staff, and can't wait to make the announcements. But if you want to support the work that we do, join our Bring the Funk fan club. Your dollars make it possible for our growth. If you want to give via Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. Just see it right here, bottom left-hand corner. PayPal's R Martin Unfiltered, Venmo's RM Unfiltered, Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Check some money order and make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003 7-0196. Back in a moment.
Next on the Black Table with me, Greg Carr. The United States is the most dangerous place for a woman to give birth among all industrialized nations on the planet. Think about that for a second. That's not all. Black women are 3 times more likely to die in this country during childbirth than white women.
These healthcare systems are inherently racist. There are a lot of white supremacist ideas and mythologies around black women, black women's bodies, even black people, that we experience pain less, right?
Activist, organizer, and fearless freedom fighter Monifa Akinwole Bandele from Moms Rising joins us and tells us this shocking phenomenon, like so much else, is rooted in unadulterated racism. And that's just one of her fights. Monifa Bandele on the next Black Table here on the Black Star Network.
This week on The Other Side of Change.
Book bans, anti-intellectualism, and Trump's continued war on wisdom.
This is a coordinated backlash to progress. At the end of the day, conservatives realized that they couldn't win a debate on facts. They started using our language against us, right? Remember when we were all woke and the woke movement and all that kind of stuff? Now everything is anti-woke, right? When we were talking about including diversity, equity, inclusion, higher education, now it's anti-DEI. All this are efforts to suppress the truth because truth empowers people.
You're watching The Other Side of Change only on the Black Star Network.
What's up? It's the MCEO Talib Kweli. You are checking out Roland Martin Unfiltered.
You know, a corrupt person has no problem freeing other corrupt people. The twice impeached, criminally convicted felon-in-chief Donald Trump pardoned two MAGA Tennessee legislators who were weeks away from reporting to federal prison. Former Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Quesada and his top aide, Cade Cothran, were convicted at trial of more than a dozen public corruption charges related to a scheme where prosecutors said they, along with former state representative Robin Smith, defrauded taxpayers through a state-funded legislative mailer program. In September, U.S. District Judge Eli Richardson ordered Quesada to self-report to the Federal Bureau of Prisons on November 21st, where he was to serve a 3-year prison term. He ordered Cothran to self-report to prison on November 17th to serve a 2.5-year prison term. But Donald Trump said, y'all ain't got to worry about that. I mean, you know what? The Biden people pursued y'all. And you know what? You're not going to federal prison. You're not going to federal prison. In addition to that, Donald Trump also pardoned another corrupt dude out of New York. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me pull that one up, y'all. And the Trump folks said, no, that guy, he didn't do anything wrong. That guy, he actually was tricked. That's right. So Trump, they pardoned an ex-cop who was convicted in a Chinese plot. Michael McMahon. Prosecutors said he acted as a legal agent in a conspiracy to target a Chinese family in New Jersey. White House says, no, he was tricked. He was tricked. He was sentenced to 18 months in prison for his participation in a Chinese government plot to locate, surveil, and intimidate a New Jersey family. Donald Trump said, nah, we're good. What you have here, Candace, is Donald Trump passing out get-out-of-jail favors. Many people suspect he getting kickbacks to do it. This man don't give a damn about the rule of law. He has let more people off for corruption, just shameful, despicable, and every time it's, the Bidens over-pursued, even when there are cases where the prosecution started under his ass.
So, what he is doing is he is displacing the whole judicial process. Because people who go through and they're corrupt and they're convicted of certain crimes, they know that, in my back pocket, I might have Donald Trump because there's no limitation to the amount of pardons and clemency that he can give. So you are right. This is something that has become highly politicized. I mean, let's face it, in the past, Jimmy Carter, certainly he got some people off because they dodged the war, and we know about Nixon. I mean, it is a political football, but at the number that Donald Trump is doing this, it is unprecedented, and that's what he's doing. He's creating precedents so that he can have even more power. He's building upon all of this, and nobody is stopping him. He's merging everything that we know to be separate. He's really changing kind of the Constitution even as we know it. We're just seeing it in front of our eyes, but it's slowly happening. And then eventually we realize, wait a minute, where are all of our rights? But I think another thing to point out is that he also pardoned Darryl Strawberry. And the reason why that's important and is politicized is because we know the numbers of black men that have been voting Republican. And who has he been removing? It's not black women, by and large, that he has been pardoning and, commuting their sentences. It's black men. And he's doing that because it is something that he's making a point politically. And whenever he does something in terms of pardoning a black man, black men listen and he gets points. And he knows that. So it's all strategy. It's all PR and marketing for the Republican Party.
Yep, and because Strawberry got pardoned for a tax charge. And listen, Matt, what makes it even worse, the folks who Trump is letting out, he say, oh, don't worry about it. You don't even have to pay back any of your fines. He's just letting all kind of folks. I mean, the crypto dude, Carlos Watson, and that scheme he was involved in. It's millions upon millions of dollars that victims were supposed to receive. Trump said, don't worry about it. You're good.
Yeah, see, also pay me $230 million because I'm a victim, right? Because I was prosecuted. Look, I mean, the thing that is really kind of baffling to me about this is for all the people who will tell you that the founders were these geniuses who came up with all these various checks and balances. If you realize it, I mean, the pardon power is one of the most unchecked powers that the president has that can be used at any point after, the inception of a criminal prosecution, from my understanding, and he can use it unfettered. So the problem is he's got an actual constitutional right to do this. And when you have a Supreme Court that's saying, with the unitary executive, basically everything he does is immunized, which is ultimately what they've said, then exactly like you're saying, I'm thinking there's kickbacks or there's something on the back end for that because, you've already got Bill Lee, the governor of Tennessee, in your pocket. Why do you need to pardon this guy? It's probably because you got a fat stack of cash. But there's not anything that can really be done about that. And that's a strange thing to me that the founders didn't have a greater mechanism for ensuring that this kind of abuse didn't happen. But I don't really know what can be done is the problem because, it is a constitutional power he's expressly afforded. And we know that the Supreme Court isn't going to engraft on any limitations on that or find any way to say that it's outside of the realm of power because it's an expressly afforded Article 2 right. So I think you're right about your analysis, but I don't know what you can really do about it besides watch him continue to do it till he isn't at 1600 Pennsylvania.
I'm going to say it again, Michael. Republicans lose in 2028. Democrats should say, all bets are off.
Yeah, they need to prosecute all these criminals, definitely. And I don't care how old they are either. I don't care.
Hold on. I'm going to get to the prosecution. I'm talking about Democrats always are playing by a set of rules. No, if we do that, they're going to criticize us. No, I'm telling you, the energy that I need from the next Democratic president is like, sit your ass down. What I need from the next Democratic president is Pete Ducey, sit your ass down. We ain't calling on you. No, I'm telling what I want. I'm telling you, next candidate, every Democrat that runs in 28, sir, are you releasing your taxes? Nope. Are you releasing your college transcripts? Nope.
No.
Are you going to put your money in the blind trust? Nope. Because clearly, all the stuff that the media and the public claimed was important, they let he do whatever he wants to do. So you like, All right, cool. So Obama, Biden, all of them, they will wait till around Christmas. He doing pardons whenever. I'm telling you right now, if I'm a Democratic president, shit, I'm cool. I'm saying, hey, I'm dropping pardons on the 1st and the 15th of the month.
The 1st and the 15th. Right. So there's a number of things here. We're dealing with a criminal, so this is to be expected, right? But what's interesting here about the case with Casada and Catherine is that the investigations of both of these men started under Trump's first term, and the raids of their homes were conducted in January 2021 when Trump was still in office. Right. So it's his Department of Justice, and the judge that presided over the case was appointed by Trump in his first term as well. So this is just another attempt to undo prosecutions coming under the Biden-Harris administration and say that they were unfair because he feels mourned, he feels hurt because of what he claims are unfair prosecutions. So this is what criminals do. Right. Now, I've said we need more politicians. I said we need more black politicians like Bumpy Johnson. We need some straight up hardcore people to go toe to toe with these thugs. You can't send choir boys to go toe to toe with these thugs. So this is what you're dealing with. But once you try to overthrow the government through a January 6th insurrection, I mean, what do you expect? All bets are off then.
Yeah, but that's what what Matt? These are thugs. In fact, hold on. Here's Steve Bannon. This is what he had to say. And listen, only guilty ass people say shit like this.
I will tell you right now, as God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included.
Damn right. Okay, I'm going to play the rest of it.
They're not going to stop. They're getting more and more and more radical.
Yeah, because y'all asses are more and more and more corrupt. Okay, back to the video.
And we have to counter that. And what do we have to counter it with? We have to counter it with more action, more intense action.
Yeah, more corruption. More corruption. Back to the corrupt man.
More urgency. We're burning daylight. If you look across every aspect of this, we have to codify what President Trump has done by executive order.
Okay, what he's saying is, okay, all the illegal shit we've done, we got to make that stuff law so it really ain't illegal.
Right? We have to codify it. And people say, well, they're just going to be messing bills and pass Senate. We got to put aside these structural barriers and get on with it.
Okay, what he's saying is the thing called the law of the Constitution, can we just move that aside because it's really kind of get in our way?
President Trump today gave to the Senate when they came over for breakfast, even Lindsey Graham, some of the guys that liked, and some of these institutions, I understand. This is a very tough decision to make. And you're going to see some people in the conservative movement that not in a million years, because I talked to him today, quite frankly, I had Hawley on the show this morning, Josh Hawley, and he's talking about it. And I'm trying to play the institution. Well, they called me up this afternoon and said, let's go through the 10 reasons we need to do it. And these are heavy hitters on what I would call the constitutional, the limited government constitutionalist in our movement.
Okay, I got 10 reasons why your ass need a bath. Okay, back to the video.
And they're about to come out over the next couple of days and make this argument because it said, look, we have to understand that if we don't take this to the maximum, a maximalist strategy now with a sense of urgency, and in doing this seize the institutions, if we don't do that now, we're going to lose this chance forever because you're never going to have another Trump, right? You're just not going to have it.
Right. So what he's saying is you are never, Matt, going to have somebody with no morals, no values, no ethics, no principles, no integrity, no honor, no decency, no bottom. We truly right now have the best person in the world, which is an absolute, undeniable, corrupt ass fool sitting in the Oval Office.
Yeah, that's right. And look, they're not hiding their hands. They're making their playbook known, and they've been doing that for a long time. You and Michael on this show talked about Project 2025 for years before we saw it applied. The reason I responded that way, though, is because I worry philosophically that if we embolden each side to come in and then be no holds barred in response, that you're never going to have any stability. And I don't know how you toe the balance between not being weak and not letting the Republicans run roughshod and playing their game against them, but also redefining some kind of stability to the government.
No.
That's why
You can have
that way, because I don't know how you do that.
Here's stability. You broke the law. You paid the price. Stability. See, again, here's the perfect example that is the issue that I have. Republicans don't believe in rules. They don't believe in norms. So their whole deal is, we're going to do whatever because we got power. Democrats go, we believe in norms, but then you don't maximize power. I'm not saying a Democrat should come in and say, yeah, I'm going to take a $500 million plane from Qatar. And then we're going to convert it on the taxpayer dime. And then when I leave office, y'all going to give it to my library for us to use. That's what this thug is talking about here. What I'm talking about is the things that used to be, oh my God, I can't believe that. I can't believe year in he pardoned these people. No, I think the next Democrat should say, I'm going to pardon somebody when I want to. I'm going to sit here and, oh, yeah, marijuana convictions, y'all all gone. Okay, and what I want the next Democratic president to say, I'm putting the SEC commissioner, what was the line my man used in Training Day? What was the line Denzel used when he said, I'm putting, I'm hitting all.
On all you.
Yeah, I'm putting charges on all y'all. What I want Lena Khan back at the Federal Trade Commission. I want folk back who gonna say, we going after every thug, every person. We going, all those folks who got inside information on the crypto, we going after everybody. Because, listen, we ain't even hit year one. These people, Matt, they want to rape and pillage all of it. They want to leave this thing in tatters, so jacked up, so screwed up, where it may take 30 years to fix. Nah, hell no. I ain't gonna let 30 years. I'm talking about if I'm a Democratic president, I'm coming in and I got prosecutors everywhere. I'm going through every document. I'm sitting here looking at everything because these people are ridiculously corrupt. And I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump knows it, and when he leaves, forget the pardons that Biden, he probably going to say, I'm pardoning everybody who I've talked to in 4 years. This is how corrupt these people are. We have never, in the history of the United States, we have never, Richard Nixon looks like a preschooler compared to this thug.
Yeah. I agree with that completely. My concern is less about abject corruption and is more about the expansion of the executive power to the point that we have a king or a quasi-king. And what I'm saying is, I don't know how a Democratic president can come in and just eschew all norms and then we not create the same environment for corruption to run rampant. Now, maybe not to this extent, right? But the problem is, if all the guardrails are gone, all the norms are gone, and we're all promoting that the next person come in and just go to sixth gear and do whatever they want, I think we run the risk of creating the same issue to a lesser degree, because you're probably not going to ever have another Trump who's this brazenly corrupt. But I think you create the circumstances for corruption, and I don't know philosophically how you address that going forward, but also understanding that, you know, we're trying to operate in good faith and Republicans aren't. Like, to your point, they don't care about the rules. So that's why I reacted that way. I don't know.
Right, but here's the thing for me, Candace. If the Supreme Court has said, oh, you could do all of that, I'm sorry. A Democrat should go, noted. Noted. See, again, this is what I've always said, Candace, is the problem. Democrats see the line 2,000 yards away, and they go, hey. Matter of fact, in football, there's a guy who's called the get-back coach. Mm-hmm. And the get-back coach is the guy who's constantly telling the head coach and the players, get back, because if y'all cross the line, they're going to throw a penalty on the bench. So he's the get-back coach. His job is to make sure everybody stays back. The Democrats got about 5 million get-back coaches. Get back. No, don't cross it, get back. The Republicans are on the other side of the line say, look at the fools getting back. We crossed that line long ago. Mm-hmm. I understand Matt's point. But if the Supreme Court has said, I got a whole lot of power, I'm going to use a whole lot of power. And then every time Republicans going to say something, I'm going to sit here and say, read that. He said that. Your ass didn't say nothing. I just don't believe you don't use the power that's been granted and you say, well, I'm going to voluntarily bottle it up and hurt myself. Nah, damn that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I think what we're seeing is, as you said, people are getting back because they are afraid if they do cross the line, because the way that the courts are stacked, because of the executive order power that the president has, because of the pardoning power that the president has, that they're never going to win. So I'm not saying that what they're doing is right, getting back. But while they're getting back, what is it that they can do? I'm kind of, co-signing Matt again once tonight, because besides a constitutional convention to kind of really change some things in the core of this country, I mean, what the framers didn't see coming was a Donald Trump.
Well, actually, you got to add one thing. What the framers didn't, first of all, here's the deal. What I'm laying out and what you and Matt are saying, let's be clear. You know why it's going to happen? What you and Matt are saying is going to happen, and what I'm saying is not going to happen, because the Democratic Party, they not going to let a Democratic president actually do it. Mm. See, the Democrats, they so nice. The Democrats are the ones who going to, no, you can't have a piece of cake because you already had one. That's the Democrats. That's the Democrats. They're not going to do it. The Democratic Party will never fall in line the way the Republicans are. In fact, let me just be real clear. You will never see a Democratic Project 2025. Not going to happen. Because you're going to have other Democrats shooting down Project 2020, their own Project 2025. You are. The Republicans, they say, I'll do what you want. And let's be real honest here, Michael. One of the reasons why is because Donald Trump, he'll threaten them. He'll sick his posse on them. So he actually has his entire party scared.
Yes.
That's why. So they're like, I ain't tell him. Yeah. You go tell him. I ain't going to tell him he can't go do it. No, you go tell him, man. I am not going to tell him. You go tell him. No, you go tell him. You go tell him. And so guess what? Then nobody goes tell him. Nobody goes to tell him.
Yeah, he'll threaten them with primaries. He'll berate them on his knockoff Twitter platform, Truth Social. He pardoned 1,500 domestic terrorists that tried to overthrow the government January 6th. Okay, so you have a lot of them out. And we saw one just was arrested for making threats against Hakeem Jeffries. So, yeah, he operates as a mob boss. Okay, but at the same time, you have weak-ass Republicans who don't stand up to power, who need to be voted out of office. They need to be taken out of power. So, yeah, we have problems on both sides. You got weak-ass Republicans, and you got a corrupt thug with no morals that has way too much power. And we have to deal with both of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's just fact. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a thug. A flat-out thug. All right, y'all. Speaking of thugs, we come back. We're going to talk about how the racist white supremacist Nick Fuentes has really got the Republicans and Heritage Foundation reeling. Maybe it's because they've fully embraced the racist white supremacist Nick Fuentes, and they need his supporters because his supporters are MAGA. You're watching Roland Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
Violent white supremacy is, quote, the most persistent and lethal threat in the homeland.
The greatest terrorist threat to the homeland is the homegrown violence stream, including hate crime committed on behalf of some kind of white supremacist ideology.
They are coming after everything in Black America.
MAGA and Donald Trump are specifically targeting Black America. They are going after the money. Attack Black Lives Matter. Attack critical race theory. Attack woke, DEI. MAGA wants to defund Black America. This is a perfect example of their desire to completely degrade and de-emphasize Black people.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Godfrey, the funniest dude on the planet. And you're watching
Roland Martin Unfiltered.
So, y'all, a whole lot is happening with the Republican Party as we speak. The Heritage Foundation is going through a whole lot because, you know, their president sort of defended Tucker Carlson's interview with white supremacist, racist, Nazi lover Nick Fuentes. Now, that same Nick Fuentes has a mixed ethnic background, including Mexican, Italian, Irish. He literally has said some absolutely wildish, outlandish, racist stuff, and he's got millions following him, and they love him. This is what he said on March 28th.
You say that everybody kind of realizes women need to be taken down a peg. Women are in control. Women are running our lives. They're clearly not up to the task. They need to be taken down a peg. And equally, just like the obfuscation with Jews, you have all these people saying, no, that's not the problem. The problem is modern women. They say it's all these degenerate modern women. You need to find yourself a good girl who's traditional and Christian and conservative. It's like they're telling us what to do, too. They're talking way too much, too. Half the time when you go on Twitter and you have some stupid bitch wagging her finger in your face, she's a Christian. She's got a Proverbs in bio. She's got a Bible verse in her bio. People say, no, it's just those degenerate, modern, left-wing, blue-haired feminist girls. I want a good trad Christian girl. Half the time it's the girls with the Bible verses in the bio that are the problem. So they're always coming up with, no, it's not the Jews. No, it's not women. No, it's not blacks. It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the fuck up. Blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part. And we would live in paradise. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. Anyway, that's the big picture. You know, that's your macro level, 30,000.
All right, we're not done. Check this out.
Women don't support me. Women are irrational and sensitive. It's just like my whole life. Because I was always like the class clown. I was always like bullying women. And women have always been like simultaneously charmed, but also like, oh, stop it. Oh, you're so annoying. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's how women are with like with my personality type, where you're like a rascal, you know, you're like a bastard. And they're kind of like, because I'm like a rule breaker and stuff. And so women simultaneously are intrigued by that, but they also have to pretend like they're not, because women, it's sort of like how a lot of women want to be raped. And when I say raped, I mean like, that sounds bad when I say it like that. But there's like a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, now, mind you, this is the guy Tucker Carlson interviewed. And Tucker Carlson sat down for a conversation with Megyn Kelly. It was like yesterday. And he actually defended the sit down. And he said he doesn't care if he gets criticized, all that sort of stuff. He said, hey, you know, I want to sit here and I'm interested in hearing people actually think. Listen.
Is not only being challenged in our country, it's being disregarded. It's disregarded in DEI. It's disregarded in affirmative action. Identity politics is a refutation of that idea. We are awarding some people something because of how they were born and hurting others for the same reason. That is anti-Western.
So the Heritage Foundation CEO said that Nick Fuentes should be a part of the conservative movement. Boy, they've had folks resign, staffers are all pissed off. Here's the thing here, Candace, that let's just be honest. Nick Fuentes and his following, his millions of followers, just like Charlie Kirk's millions of followers, that's the Republican Party. That's their voters. They need those racist, angry white men. That's the Richard Spencers of the world. That's the Stephen Millers of the world. That's literally their party. So the fact that the Heritage Foundation CEO said, yeah, we need Nick Fuentes as a part of the conservative movement, he's saying we need those young racist bastards.
You know, there's so much to say, but yet I want to say so little because that actually gives him more of a platform. And listen, this is someone who hasn't even been on Fox. So the fact that Tucker Carlson had him, and the fact that Tucker was removed from Fox, we know that he too is trying to get the numbers. He too is trying to get people who are voting for him in a sense, because they want to see him continue and be successful. But, Nick Fuentes reminds me of, let me not contextualize it too much, but I know folks who are like him, and that, when you talk about money so much, it means you don't have money. When you talk about girls that much, it means that you don't have a girl. So the fact that he is talking about not, empowering women and talking about women wanting to be raped, he's talking about the fact that they have the power to say no because they've probably been saying no to him his whole life. And that's the problem in and about this. So instead of doing a lot of self-reflecting, what he does is he goes online and he gets other alienated men mostly in order to agree with him so that they have something to talk about, because they can't talk about what they really want to talk about, which is that, Roland, these type of guys, they really want a girlfriend. And they've never really had one. And I know that's very simplistic, but at the end of the day,
right,
you speak to a lot of men in this age group, that's what they want. So the fact that, we're even talking about it, yes, it's the news, but I hate doing it.
No. The reason I think we have to talk about it, because, again, Michael, just listen to some of this. This is literally Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson essentially saying that, Fuentes, he ain't so bad.
The main criticism, as I understand it, has been, well, yes, platforming. They say that. I don't accept platforming as a valid objection.
What is that a verb, by the way? You take a noun and you make it into a verb and nobody says anything? As a former editor, I say no.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. Honestly, but as far as I know, Nick Fuentes hasn't eaten anyone. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer ate people, and he was platformed by Diane Sawyer.
Dude, we have a sitting member of Congress. I spoke to the Speaker of the House about this today. We have a sitting member of Congress from Florida called Randy Fine, who is literally texted or put on Twitter, we should kill them all. Every single one. Someone texted a picture of a dead baby, and he laughs at it. And it's like, this guy's a lawmaker who's appropriating money to a military committing genocide, and that's cool? It's not cool.
No.
And let's just be honest. That is much worse than anything Nick Fuentes has said. Period.
And they clapped, Michael.
Well, this is the white nationalist, white supremacist party that we're looking at that's trying to preserve genetic white survival. There's a fear of the browning of America, as you've talked about in your book, White Fear. And the mask has been pulled off of these white supremacist, white nationalists. So about 10 years ago, the views of Nick Fuentes would have been denounced by those in the Republican Party, by leadership in the Republican Party, things like that 10, 12 years ago or so. They would have been looked at as fringe ideology.
The John Birch Society, the John Birch Society of the 1960s, yeah.
Yeah. Today is more mainstream ideology in the Republican Party, so much so that Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation, which is the same organization that put out Project 2025, is defending Tucker Carlson, platforming Nick Fuentes, interviewing him. And let's remember, Nick Fuentes is the same guy that went meet with Donald Trump in the first term with Kanye West.
Yeah, had dinner at Mar-a-Lago with had lunch with Kanye and Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Yep, go ahead.
Yep. So this is who these people are. We need to pay close attention because Nick Fuentes, I think, even though his movement, the Gropers, I think it was called, they didn't think Charlie Kirk, they thought Charlie Kirk was a fraud and didn't think he was harsh enough, things like that.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk was their competition.
Charlie Kirk was their competition, but I think Nick Fuentes is trying to move into that lane.
Well, hold up. This is the New York Times right here. Nick Fuentes was Charlie Kirk's bitter enemy. Now he's becoming his successor, and they got this really cool photo, this earthy photo of him. That's what you're dealing with. Matt, these are racists. And the Republican Party is saying, yo, we down with the racists as long as they turn out votes on our side.
Full stop. And they're racist actors because I guarantee you Nick Fuentes ain't going down the street telling any brother that he needs to be locked up. I mean, it's his keyboard warrior, right? He's sitting behind a microphone. He's probably getting a little kickback like Candace was saying. It's all about money for him. But, these are the people who give voice to all of the neighbors that live on our street who have these same racist views, who will never say it out in public, but they're at home, running up his views on YouTube because this is what they really think. And I think the Republican Party brazenly saying we're bringing these people into the fold is not only disgusting, but what you see a lot with these people is they always try to find a way to one-off it and sanitize it and make it not what it is, right? I mean, even Megyn Kelly talking about Dahmer having been platformed. I never saw that Nick Fuentes ate somebody. I mean, that's part and parcel with the kind of thing that you see where they're like, well, he probably shouldn't say that, but maybe he's really not that bad. No, he's a flaming racist. And, I think it's acting. I think it's bad acting. But I also think that there's a power void now that Charlie Kirk is gone, and he's trying to fill that void because he's an actor. But I guarantee you he ain't saying none of this on the street.
It's a whole lot going on, and what people are calling for right now is the opposition. They're calling on people to fight back. They're calling on people to stand up and challenge the other side, not give in, not bend, not buckle. That's what they're doing. And what is required here is for fighters to stand up, to emerge. That's what's required. And one of those folks is our next guest, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. She joins us right now. Congresswoman Crockett, you heard the conversation we were just having, and this is just a moment we're in where, look, folk can't be sitting on the sidelines going, well, so-and-so's not too bad, whatever. We see the attacks on women, black women, people of color, all sorts of people. The right wing is losing their mind because of what happened on Tuesday. I mean, they just going crazy. They've been calling you ghetto, every name, everything, how you talking, everything. They don't care. The reality is the norms of politics that were there for so long are gone. Donald Trump has said, y'all don't worry about any of that. Say and do whatever you want because I got you.
Yeah, you're so right. It's interesting. When we did our field hearing in Chicago as it relates to ICE and what's going on there, under amazing leadership, might I add, we know that the mayor of Chicago, Brandon, has been doing an amazing job in defense of his people. But I made sure to point out that a friend of mine who is currently federal law enforcement said to me that he always sees a shift in what takes place based upon the tone that is set at the top. So yes, we have a thug and a criminal who is a criminal more so because of his mindset. He obviously has convictions to go along with that, but it's more so his mind, right? There are people plenty of times that have gotten into trouble, but it was out of necessity, which we are going to see a spike in crime as this administration is saying, do not feed people. When it comes to survival, people will survive, right? And so we are going to see these things, even though he claims to be about that life. But nevertheless, he has set a tone. He has set a tone that is disrespectful. He has set a tone that is completely ignoring the people that put him into office. And there is no coof about him, so to speak, right? And so you can sit there as prim and proper as you want to be and get steamrolled, or you can meet his energy and recognize that, like, you're not going to be the one to be played with, right? And you can fight back. And I think one of the reasons that he usually can't keep my name out of his mouth is because he is threatened with my ability to communicate. He understands that when I speak, I just speak very plainly, which allows me to communicate to the masses, which a lot of my colleagues don't necessarily.
Let me be real clear, Congresswoman. I had a very well-known Republican tell me the reason our side hates Jasmine Crockett is because she's good. He was like, he said it. He was like, she drives us up the wall because she's good. Those were his exact words.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, I've literally, as you know, I'm constantly traveling the country. And, I've had Republicans walk up to me and tell me, they, first of all, make it clear that they love me. And then they make it clear that they are Republicans. And they tell me that they don't necessarily agree with everything that I say or my stances, but they, number one, love the fact that I am always standing on my own 2 feet and I am fighting for what I believe in. Like, they genuinely believe what it is that I'm fighting for when I'm fighting. Even if they disagree with the fight, they know that no one is controlling me. And number two, people know that I have my education. So I don't feel like I necessarily need to sit down and have an SAT conversation with everybody because I don't really know that that's most effective.
Well, then again, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, you got that guy from Louisiana, John Kennedy, with that fake ass accent. I mean, there's actual video of him talking and there is no country twang whatsoever. And he's over there and he is just talking like he's just homespun stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, what the Republicans have been effective at doing is they love to throw a bomb, right? And usually the Democrats will scurry and go ahead and spread the news about the bomb, right? I am so appreciative of our party because they are kind of like, you know what, we're not falling for that anymore. And hopefully we can keep up this energy. If you remember, there were a lot of people saying that Jay Jones was not going to pull off the attorney general position in Virginia. And there were Democrats saying, oh my God, he sent this terrible text message. He needs to resign and not run. And we not have anybody.
Oh, 10 years ago, he would have been forced to resign. He would have been forced to drop out of the campaign.
Listen, there were still Democrats that were talking about it. And my deal was, say what you got to say, denounce what he did. But in this moment, do you trust this Republican attorney general to stand up when it is the state legislature that decides that they need to fight fire with fire and give us more seats out of Virginia to go to the U.S. House because they're trying to balance out this power struggle that Trump is on? Or when it comes down to Trump deciding that he's not going to send appropriated dollars to the state of Virginia, do you think that the Republican AG is going to be the one to sign up to go and get those dollars? No. So at the end of the day, you got to put your mask on first. And so you can say he is not my favorite person. And I just appreciated that the Democrats got rid of kind of the purity test. You can have whatever issues you have with him. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're looking out for you. And I was very excited to see that he was able to pull off the win. Not that I know him. I've never met him. I've never talked to him. But because it seems like people did not get caught up in the distractions. And that is what the Republicans are very good at. There is no way that the Republicans get to point fingers while we have the most corrupt president ever in the history of this country sitting on his wannabe throne. Absolutely not. We got to do what we got to do. And we may not necessarily have perfect soldiers in this fight, but we need fighters. And we can't afford to cede any territory. And so I was very excited for what happened on November 4th. And Trump is the one that basically does not have a poker face. It was clear that he was very upset about what happened. And Mike Johnson just stood up and lied and said, oh, no. It was just in all the blue places. That's all it was. It's what we expected. And it's like, bro, there's a Republican governor that just got, I mean, obviously they only run for one term in Virginia, but like, the numbers were crazy. Spamberger was up by 14 points or something. And we know that the last time they went for Youngkin. So, I mean, this wasn't just, and obviously no conversation about Mississippi, no conversation about what Georgia did, right? They all should be nervous and they all should be kind of looking at Trump and saying, bro, it's time for us to get back to work. So come to the table. You're going to have to negotiate some of this. Otherwise, I am telling you right now, that blue wave that we saw is going to be a tsunami come the midterms.
Speaking of that, obviously we have the racist gerrymander in Texas wiping out your seat, that of also one of the seats in Houston, a total of 5. You have to make a decision. Your name has been thrown out left and right about the United States Senate. Your name is popping up in polls and stories and whatever. How much time do you got to make a decision whether you run for Congress or try for that U.S. Senate?
Yeah, so I am running out of time, to be clear. Texas has one of the earliest primaries. And so our filing actually will begin in just a few days, and the filing period is going to close on December 8th. I fully anticipate that I won't announce what I'm doing until December 8th, to be perfectly honest. You're right. There's been so many independent polls that have been done. We just saw one that came out this week where the case was made that there needs to be a multicultural coalition that is built in order to win. And so when you look at what it took for Spamberger to win, what it took for Mikey Sherrill to win, it all was kind of these multicultural coalitions. And based upon my performance, specifically with people of color, not necessarily saying that I'm performing bad with, Anglos, but specifically with how well I perform with people of color, the argument was made that I'm best situated, as well as the fact that I've been kind of making this argument that name ID wise, my name ID is significantly higher than any candidate that we've ever put up to run statewide. We always put up someone who has a great resume, but I think that our party has been very afraid of giving the Republicans too much time to beat up on somebody. And I got news for them. They've been beating up on me for a very long time. So I don't even know. I mean, they didn't came up with some other BS drama, I'm just like, this is just a normal day for me, right? Like, I don't get distracted. And I think because they have consistently tried to beat up on me, running crazy stories on Newsmax, running crazy stories on Fox, that kind of stuff, I think it makes it to where it's more background noise at this point, right? Instead of something that anybody would pay attention to, because it's the same old, same old. And so I think that we have invested a lot in kind of a blank slate, somebody that hopefully they can't tear down. And I also think that Democrats have really taken a lot of time to say we want to go after the crossover instead of going after our base. And so it's a matter of difference in style. I believe that I have a lot of base to get to that we could bring out so that we could expand the electorate in Texas. So often people say, well, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm not going to go vote because it's just going to be a Republican. But I remember a time in which a lot of people in this country never thought we would see a Black president. And I remember that people were hopeful. They weren't necessarily believing, but they were hopeful, right? And it is my hope that I can instill that we deserve better in the state of Texas and that we deserve a U.S. senator that is Texas tough, but always is going to put all of Texas first. And so, we'll see. I don't plan to go out here on a dummy mission for sure. So all I can say is that independent polls make it clear that there's a path for me. The candidate that the Republicans want to run away from is only 1 point ahead of me in a head-to-head, which is well within the margin of error of any poll. And that's been in multiple polls where Ken Paxton is only outpacing me by a point without me ever spending one statewide dollar. But if I can't get people excited or motivated in ways that we've never seen in Texas, then I will absolutely be running for a House seat. I don't know which House seat. We're still waiting on the court. We are anticipating getting a court order within the next day or so because we are about to enter filing and people have to know what the district looks like. So if our numbers don't come back, which they are working through that right now, to be something that I feel like we can jump off on, then I won't. I will stay in the House. Otherwise, it's go big or go home.
So if you run, which one of those comfortable shoes are you going to wear behind you? Because you're going to have to be hitting a lot of pavement with 254 counties in Texas.
My J's aren't behind me, but it'll be some J's, that's for sure.
So you're going to have some comfortable shoes. Because it's a whole lot of ground to cover in Texas if you run statewide.
Yeah, it is. People underestimate really how big Texas is. It is in the literal land mass. We are huge, but also, we're a state of over 30 million people. So it's a lot. And we have some of the most expensive media markets in this country. But, one of the things that I did that people didn't really realize, and it's just because I believe in good people getting into office, is when I was in the state house, I was helping out people that were running for office all over the place. And by the time I decided I was going to run for the U.S. House, there were so many elected officials that were willing to support me and come out really quickly and early because they were like, you had our back. And as it turns out, I had expanded my territory. Well, I've done that a little bit more quietly, for sure, consistently. And then there's some races that I'm big and loud about, such as Christian Menifee down in the special election in Houston for the old Sylvester Turner, the old Sheila Jackson Lee, the old Barbara Jordan seat, old Mickey Leland seat, Craig Washington seat. So historic seat. So I've been out front with him, but there are other people that I have helped out, whether it was mayoral races or state house races and things like that. And people just don't forget. And that's been all over the state. So I think that will serve me well if we decide to run statewide, because we have people that already have their own machines kind of together that allow them to be elected. And I would imagine that they would be helpful in making sure that I could tap into their machines as well.
Well, if Colin Allred could raise $90 million last year against Senator Ted Cruz, of course, he's in this race as well. I think if you decide to run, $100 million ain't going to be a problem.
I don't know if I would say ain't going to be a problem.
I don't think, Hey.
We will hustle. We will fight.
I'm saying it right now. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, if you run for United States Senate, you're going to raise more than $100 million. I'm putting that marker on the table right now.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right. Congresswoman Crockett, I appreciate it. Glad to have on the show. And, of course, as also my Congresswoman, I'm a constituent, which I made perfectly clear to Stephen A. Smith. You want to talk to a constituent to know what she's doing, come talk to me, because I actually vote in the 30th Congressional District.
Along with your parents, who I love.
Yeah, all y'all, listen, they work the polls, they do all this sort of stuff. What the hell are y'all doing in the control room putting this behind me? What's going on? Lord have mercy. Congresswoman, we got to go. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
What's wrong, Matt? Matt, why you cracking up?
They got your ass on the open road.
No, I don't know what the hell. First of all, I told them to change this damn TV. It times out. I told them that. I don't know why in the hell, y'all. That's
you heading out to college.
Didn't I make clear why? Like I made clear to fix this. You know what?
Looks like he's at a crossroads. Maybe.
Hey! Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm hiring somebody, and it's gonna be all taken care of come January 1. Don't worry about it. I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. I'm just letting you know it's going to be all taken care of. All right. I'm going to go to a break. We come back. We got our marketplace segment right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered, the Black Star Network. Oh, by the way, Matt, we're still 8-0 and number 3 in the country, Texas A&M. Woo!
Yeah, you notice that when we won that game, you ain't show up. You decided to go play golf.
No, I play golf anyway. But again, I wasn't concerned about unranked teams. All right, back in a moment. Back in a moment.
If in this country right now you have people get up in the morning and the only thing they can think about is how many people they can hurt, and they got the power, that's the time for mourning.
For better or worse, what makes America special, it's that legal system that's supposed to protect minorities from the tyranny of the majority.
We are at a point of a moral emergency. We must raise a voice of outrage. We must raise a voice of compassion. And we must raise a voice of unity.
We are not in a crisis of party versus party. We are in a crisis of civilization, a human rights crisis, and a crisis of democracy itself. And guess what? You've been chosen to make sure that those that would destroy, those that would hate, don't have the final say, and they don't ultimately win.
Hey, this is Motown recording artist Kim. You are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered. That boy, he always unfiltered, though. I ain't never known him to be filtered. Is there another way to experience Roland Martin than to be unfiltered? Of course he's unfiltered. Would you expect anything less? Watch what happens next.
Folks, we're near the holiday season, and we're here to help you find that perfect gift. How about jewelry? Giselle Stella Jewelry, a black woman-owned brand, redefining what everyday luxury looks like. They may just have the piece you need. Candace is like, oh, shit. With more than 20 years in the industry, Giselle Stella Jewelry combines bold style with timeless elegance, creating pieces that empower confidence and celebrate individuality. Allie Davis, founder and CEO of Giselle Stella Jewelry, joins us right now. Glad to have you here. First of all, who the hell is Giselle Stella?
That's a very good question. It's actually my daughter's name. I was like, what's a good rich sounding name? You know what? I did that already. My daughter.
I'm sitting there I'm like, your name Allie. I'm like, who is Giselle? When did you start this?
I started this in 2023. I I've been doing this for a little while now. I've been doing this for about 20 years, but Giselle Stella started in 2023.
So when you say you've been doing it, what does that mean?
I've been in the jewelry industry for almost 25 years. I'm a graduate gemologist by trade. So jewelry is all I do.
You said a graduate gemologist?
Graduate gemologist from the Gemological Institute of America.
The Gemological Institute of America. Where is that?
That is based out of New York and out of Carlsbad, California.
Okay.
We're the people that grade diamonds.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So in 20 years, and so then you decided to say, I'm going to do my own line.
Yes.
Okay.
That's actually exactly what happened.
Okay.
I was in the corporate space for a long time, and I've dealt with high-end pieces to costume pieces, and I kept noticing that there was a gap, especially for women of color, to be able to find luxury at an affordable price. And I figured that I would probably be one of the best people to fill that gap, so that's where Giselle Stella came from.
All right, then. So this right here, the box you sent us, what is this? Is this costume?
That is the shipping box.
Okay, so it's costume jewelry, or what is it?
It's called demi-fine. So it's not quite costume jewelry, meaning that it won't turn green and it's hypoallergenic.
Well, that's a good-ass thing, not turning green.
Nobody wants that, but believe it or not, we pay for that. So Giselle Stella does not offer that kind of jewelry. We call it demi-fine because we're using 18 karat gold bonded to stainless steel. So that gives you a hypoallergenic quality as well as gives you the craftsmanship of 18 karat gold.
And to all, I see somebody in the chat, they say, Roland, we are boycotting the holidays, but we will always support black business owners. Okay, we're boycotting those people. We ain't boycotting black businesses. So, okay, so let's go through here. So, all right, so we got these, okay, let me take them out. So, and again, I know, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all need to give, Candace is like, ooh, what are you about to open? What are you about to open?
Candace, there's some goodies here for you, I promise.
Huh?
I've been online already.
See, okay. So
that's what I'm talking
I've been
about.
online already earlier today. Yeah.
All right.
I'm good. I'm good. I just need to be there in the studio with that box that Roland has.
Nope. Sorry, ain't gonna happen. Keeping it from you. Okay, what we got here? We got.
That's the bold toggle. That's actually what I'm wearing right now.
All right. What is this called?
The bold toggle. It's a toggle necklace, 18 karat gold and stainless steel.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let's see here. What is this here? All right. Let me open this here up. And this is.
Sorry, that one is a locket pendant. So it has CZs in the center of it and a little heart that gives you like kind of that high-end refined look and a great piece for layering.
All right then. All right. It looks like, what's this? Some heart earrings. Is that what I got here? Yep. Got these right here.
Those are the contour hoops. I actually have these here as well. They are
Oh, no, the contour hoops. These are the contour hoops right here.
Okay, I apologize. So that's these here. I have them in silver. You have them in gold.
Yep.
But they're our #1 selling hoops.
No, these are the heart shaped, heart pearled.
The pearl. Yes, those are a hot summertime vibe as well as a fall look.
Okay. All right then. So let's see here. What else we got in here? All right, we got this dainty thing right here.
That is I believe that's the I Am Enough pendant. That is our #1 selling pendant.
Yep, I am enough.
I am enough. We recognize that it's all about people feeling confident in themselves. So we have a whole line of I am enough, I am worthy, I deserve, I'm blessed.
Gotcha. Matt probably is going to get one of those, because he's probably saying they deserve a win. Let's see here. Let's go through here. We've got a bracelet here.
Yes, the classic bracelet. That one slides right on the wrist, and you can stack them.
All right. Oh, and these are these silver.
I believe that's what you're looking for now.
Yeah. Look like seashells.
Yes, and they're 3D. That's one of my favorite pieces.
They're 3D?
Yeah, so if you spin it around in all these different directions, you can see from different profiles. They look very different.
All right, cool. Questions from the panel. Candace, you first.
Well, let me just say, folks, you got to go to GiselleStella.com.
No. They got to go to shopblackstarnetwork.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, shopblackstarnetwork.com.
You go to shopblackstarnetwork.com.
The cuffs I am loving. I mean, the studs are just really elegant. You've got something called Heart's Desire that my heart desires. I just want to say that it's beautiful, and just learning about your history and what you bring to the table. It is clear when you go to the website through Roland's network that you have good taste. So I just want to make sure women know before, they just say, oh, that sounds nice. Go online. And then
yeah, control room. Pull shopblackstarnetwork.com so they can actually see it on our website. Candace, keep going.
Yeah, go online, because the other thing is the price point really is lovely. Now, you might have some people out there say, well, $30, $40 for this to look like this and to be that price point.
They paying that at TJ Maxx and Ross.
Sure are. Tell them what it is.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. That it's a good price point.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have some complaint, but you're right. I'm just saying this economy is crazy, but it's worth it. And the fact that you have that, you bring the expertise and you have excellent choice. I really, really love it. How did you get involved in this whole market space of jewelry? Because it's not easy. I can't imagine that our particular demographic is walking around and there are dozens of us there. How did you do it?
I've always been the token in the space, if you know what I mean. And it has been a long-standing time where I'm either the only Black person in a group of Jewish people or the only Black person in a group of Indian people. And that's kind of the space that I'm in. And I've always been able to hold my own, from being a store manager to doing regional work to working in corporate to being a director of merchandise. It has always been a realm I've excelled in, and I've loved every bit of it. I love being a part of people's stories. And honestly, that's kind of why we stand for Luxury Without Limits. It's pretty much my philosophy. I want to keep people, especially women of color, in the luxury space in an affordable time, because right now it's hard, but you still should be able to look good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just want to tell a really, really quick story. It'll take 20 seconds. I remember there was this woman, and we were in a mostly white space, and the other Black women were looking at her beautiful bracelet. And that bracelet, they talked about it so much that this statement piece, it said a lot about her that they bought into immediately. People really do notice jewelry. I have seen it, and if you have that one statement piece that you get or two or three off your website, trust me, people respond. I've seen people go crazy and think just beautiful things about a person just because of the statement piece that they have.
Absolutely. And you know how we are. It's like, ooh, girl, earrings. Ooh, girl, necklace.
Right.
So those statement pieces definitely capture the eye. And if there's no reason we can't own a few nice pieces, if not more. So why can't we make it affordable, and why can't we make it something that it can be to the masses and still look good and still be quality?
Exactly. Beautiful.
Michael?
All right. Yeah. Okay, Allie, I'm on your website, and under new arrivals, I see your prestige poodle necklace and prestige poodle earrings, and that looks like it's in blue and gold. It's like something for a sister of Sigma Gamma Rho sorority incorporated.
All day long.
So my girlfriend's an AKA. Do you have anything in pink and green?
I do not.
Okay.
So what she's saying is, what she's saying is, buy the damn gold, alpha gold, buy the silver, you good. AKAs don't only wear pink and green, Michael.
That part. But believe it or not, Michael, the reason I have that prestige poodle collection was actually a fundraiser. So I'm all about giving community service, giving back to the community. So we did the prestige poodle fundraiser for a chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated that was able to pour back into the community. So they actually were able to earn $1,022 actually from that fundraiser.
Okay, good.
Matt.
Without Roland's input.
First of all, ain't no segment if I ain't got no input. Let's just be real clear. So, Matt sitting here wearing a shirt with quite a handsome gentleman on it. And so you damn right I'm King Petty. Go ahead with your little question.
Wow.
Is you finished or is you done, Roland? Here's the question I had: is what have you found to be the response to partnering with the other entrepreneurs through Shop Red Bag? I thought that was really like a dope partnership. And I'm assuming what's happening is you have a lot of cross-pollination where people are buying from you, then they're buying from a sister who's selling clothing, and then buying, maybe skincare products or whatever else. But what does that partnership look like? What was the genesis of that? And, what is it looking like these days?
Sure. So Adrian from Sisters Media reached out to me and was like, hey, I think your brand would look really good on Shop Red Bag. And I was like, thank you. We had a great dialogue and we started there. And from the cross-pollination of like the I Am Enough necklace to match up with, a dope top or a nice blazer has been a really good combo. So I'm seeing really good feedback when it comes to getting pieces that are simplistic and elegant and speaks to that person as an individual.
Can I just jump in right quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. I just wanted, because I know you got some, Jones and all that stuff to do with Matt. But quickly, I know that, I just want to make sure that people understood that before when I was making reference to the price, I was trying to say it was a good price.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, but first of all, listen, it's okay to say affordable. I mean, the bottom line is, as Allie made, you got high-end jewelry, you have less expensive jewelry, but the bottom line is it's affordable. At the end of the day, if you want to move product, listen, you're either going to have very expensive, small customer base, but they're going to, but a high profit margin, or you want to move product to have affordable jewelry. And the key, Allie, I want you to talk about that is affordable quality jewelry, because again, listen, I mean, I don't do jewelry, but I've dealt with enough women in jewelry, and so, I got 3 sisters, a mama, I got 9 nieces.
Absolutely right.
So hell, I got a wife. I kind of know about jewelry, and so quality jewelry is important. It's not cheap. That is well crafted. That good materials that last.
That's it. That is it. That is a summation of it. A quick story. My mother-in-law went to Dubai with some pieces, and she was like, I swim in the water, and I did the salt and the blah blah blah. And she came back and she's like, it didn't turn green, and I'm like, that's the point. Right? Like, that is the point, to be able to have pieces that you could wear that is of high quality that you didn't have to.
Now, Allie, that ain't what you said. You were like, hell yeah, my shit didn't turn green. I'm like, how
okay.
Come on, now,
I don't know how you speak to your mother-in-law, but I don't speak to my mother-in-law like that.
If I had a jewelry business and said, oh, this didn't turn green, I'm like, what the hell you think it didn't turn? You damn right, my shit didn't turn green.
And it better not. Because we test too many things for it to turn green. I work too hard to make sure that this product is worth putting it on the site. And if it doesn't work, then I won't work with it.
My daddy always texted me during the show, so he's like, what she got for men? That's literally the text.
I have a few pieces for men. So I have some chains, some bracelets. Tell him to check out the Dragon Cuban. I think he might enjoy that.
Gotcha. Well, see, I normally don't wear any jewelry except rings, as I'm sure Michael can see this alpha ring right here. I'm sure.
Yeah, a little alpha ring.
No, I don't think this little, son. I don't think this little. Now, if that was a little sigma up here, that would be a little ring. But matter of fact, you can see this all the way from Detroit without the camera. Right, and more than likely, with my Texas Aggies handle their business, we're gonna probably have rings larger than this. Matt team won't, but it's all good. All right, Allie. So here's the deal. So I'm texting the folks, and so that was a glitch. And so the items from Giselle Stella Jewelry will be on shopblackstarnetwork.com. So there was a slight glitch with the upload, and so I'm texting them right now. So check back on the site in about 10 minutes. You'll see the products on there. Again, it's Giselle Stella Jewelry. Fantastic items. Allie, we appreciate you being on the show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed rest of your day.
Absolutely. That's right. Non-green jewelry.
That's right.
Appreciate it. Thank you so very much. All right, y'all. That's it for us, Matt. Matt, well, why don't you know what? Since Matt, hey, Keenan, why don't we go ahead and do this here? So I'm trying to figure. Go ahead. I'm trying to think. What photo do I want to use? You know, so Matt want to sit here and talk about King Petty. So the photo Matt got right now, that photo was when we were the Television Critics Association. We were announcing News One Now. We were announcing launching News One Now. So I'm trying to see what do I want to go with for King Petty. Let's see here. What photo do I really want to go with?
You can go ahead and run me this check for this design.
No. Trust it, Matt. I guarantee you, we will not be using that design. That's not a design. Just want to let you know. I mean, that's like I say, that's a nice attempt. But I'm just saying, we probably would use a different little font, something like that. Because like right now, I'm being petty about your King Petty shirt.
It's not working though. It ain't working.
No, it is working.
You can go ahead and close this segment out.
It is working. No. Because see, I think so. For the folks who watching, let's see here. Let me see. Do y'all want?
You have a whole new stance the way you're sitting in that chair. You're like leaning.
So the folks watching, y'all want to go with that one? Or do y'all want to go with that one? Okay, let's see here. Do y'all want to go with that? See, Matt, you can't even pull that look off. That you can't even.
Look like you playing Frankie Beverly.
You can't even pull that look off. Let's see here.
Go ahead and play Frankie Beverly.
Let's see, please. Y'all want to go with that one? See, Matt, you can't. Matt, you can't. Matt, don't hate. Congratulate.
Who house you at?
I might let you celebrate. Let's see here. Oh, Matt, you can't do this one. Oh, hell no, Matt. Matt, you can't.
Where you house sitting?
Matt, you can't do this one, Matt.
Where you house sitting, Roland?
Matt, that's it. That's the one right there. That's gonna be the King Petty one right there.
Okay.
See, Matt, you can't see. Even Michael like shit. I ain't saying nothing. I can't even touch that.
Whatever you got to tell yourself, Roland.
Even you know it.
But I know I show up. You know it.
What
happens if my team.
And see, right now, the fellow lawyer on your panel, she like, I can't help his ass on this one. She like, I'm just gonna sit this one out.
He ain't frying nothing.
She like, I can't help him out on this one. I can't help him on this one. She said,
I'm just saying, let the games begin. I'm here. I'll be back.
She said, Matt on it. Candace said, Matt on his own. So, there you go. So, that's it for us. Hey, y'all, listen, this weekend, 3:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, Texas A&M versus Missouri. Matt, who y'all playing? Some high school team? Who y'all got this weekend?
We got a bye week. And
good. All right, cool.
Fact, when y'all lose this week, I want you to show up in
No. That ain't gonna happen. We not losing.
Next Friday.
We ain't losing. We ain't losing, son. We ain't losing. We not losing, son. We ain't losing.
All right.
We ain't losing. We ain't losing. Just letting you know, son.
Yeah.
No. See, how many losses y'all got? 2, 3? What y'all?
That's ancient history. Let's go forward, my brother.
Oh, that's
ancient. That L.
Wait, hold up. That's ancient history like last month? That's what it is. Okay, all right. There we go.
Let's
all right.
Into the particulars.
Okay, all right. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, whatever you say. Candace, what you got going on this weekend?
This weekend. You know what? I have to do a little bit of shopping, which is why I was interested in getting into the network. So hopefully it is up online. Because I did check and I saw the glitch, so I'm waiting for that glitch to be done.
All right, so trust me, I'm hitting them right now. I'm like, don't be having me doing a segment and y'all ain't got the stuff straight. Just say. Oh, by the way, Matt, since we already on here, so not only is Texas A&M undefeated, also Jack Yates High School, Houston, Texas, also 9-0, undefeated. See, Matt, it all go together. Jack Yates, Texas A&M, we used to winning. Matt, we used to win it. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, Matt.
The best response.
I don't know about you. I don't know about you, Matt. I don't know about you. But I'm just saying, so congratulations to Jack Yates. They playing Fur High School tonight. We're going to smack that ass. I mean, I was zoned to Fur. I went to Yates for School of Communications. Fur ain't got no shot. So just want to shout them out.
I just know you better show up next week.
Hey, son, I'll be good. Son, first of all, let's be real clear. Let's be real clear. I am traveling to Bermuda on Monday. I'll be broadcasting from there. You've got, because the Bermuda Tourism Bureau has invited me there. The premier of Bermuda is an alpha. Sorry, Michael. You should know that. I mean, some things are consistent. So they got a PGA Tour stop. So I'm playing in the Pro-Am on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll be, of course, at the tournament Thursday and Friday. My birthday is next Friday. So I'll be live from Bermuda all week next week, enjoying the sun, basking in a great time, doing some interviews there as well. Yeah, I'm unbothered, Matt. I'm unbothered.
How the other half lives,
hey, don't get stuck there with this government shutdown.
Say it again.
These flights. I don't know what. Oh wait, I don't know if you're talking to me. Or
No. You said, yeah. Listen, I ain't worried. Listen.
These flights. You might get stuck there. It's not a bad thing, but these flights.
Trust me. I get back. It's gonna be enough private jets. I ain't worried about that. I talk to somebody. So I hitch a ride with somebody. I ain't worried. What's wrong, Mac? You not able? What's wrong?
People can't put food in their refrigerators. You talking about private jets?
No, what I'm saying is, I guarantee you, somebody. Listen, I'm gonna figure out how to get it right. I'm gonna tell you right now. I need to find a photo. It was a massive storm came through D.C. and I got stuck in Miami. It was like Miami. One of them places. It was near West Palm. And I got stuck. I had to give a speech. I got stuck. Man, I couldn't get back. So then my alpha brother, sorry, Michael, Lamel McMorris, his agency represented Cam Newton. So he was flying to Charlotte. For the NFC Championship game. So he said, we were supposed to both go to New York, for Susan Taylor's National Cares Mentoring Gala. So I flew up with him on his plane to the game. Then, while there, he had said, I got to go to Atlanta after the game for a meeting. So I was like, damn. So I run to Michael Strahan. Well, Strahan was flying back to New York on his plane. So, I rode with him in his plane. See, Mike, Matt, I'm going to figure it out.
All right.
I'm going to figure it out, Matt. I'm going to figure it out.
All right. So tell us how long it takes you to swim from Bermuda.
Matt, when your bus arrives, then I'll send an Uber for you.
I'm moving to New York. It's free, baby. Shout out to Mondani.
I'm
gonna move to New York with the free buses.
You're gonna go from Corpus Christi to New York.
Hey, okay. Do what you gotta do.
Okay. All right. That's good. Appreciate that. Again, cute shirt. But Matt, I know you ain't never wore a Howard shirt. How did you go to Howard? Like, you ain't never wore a Howard shirt on the show. You've worn Longhorn stuff. You ain't never repped Howard. I got an intern in there from Howard. He finds that insulting, embarrassing. He told me, he said, I'm greatly disappointed in my fellow Bison. He said that, he told me, he said he has the audacity, the unmitigated gall. Okay. This is what Logan said. Logan said, Mason.
Go ahead and bring my accuser
he said he has the audacity, the unmitigated gall to come on a black show wearing them ugly ass orange colors and not one flashing his little horns. He said not one time has he repped the Bison, the Howard Bison on the show. And I said,
on this show I went to school with.
I said, Logan,
you brought people on this show.
Yeah, no. But you've worn, first of all, you brought your ass on here with an orange suit.
Yeah, and it was fly too.
You ain't never even.
You was running from this.
Hey, Logan, what's y'all colors? Blue, red, white, and blue. He ain't never wore a red, white, and blue suit.
Are you done?
I'm just saying. Are you not proud of your alma mater, Matt?
Extremely proud. Extremely.
What happened? Did what? You had did you have some issues? Like you never worn a Howard shirt on the show.
You see how Negroes do? They say you ain't worn a Howard shirt. What happened to you while you were at Howard?
I'm just asking. I'm just saying you ain't never.
This segment.
You ain't never.
Here's the thing, Roland.
I'm just saying, Matt. Like for instance, Candace, what college you went to? Candace, what college you went to?
Ran.
I went to Howard, and I went to Seton Hall Law, and I went to Syracuse.
Okay, so here's the deal. She ain't never wore no other school stuff on the show. So I would never ask Candace why you ain't never worn a Howard shirt. Why you ain't never wore Seton Hall. Because she ain't wore some other school. But Matt, you come in here, well, my parents went there, they met there, and I was essentially born on, I was a toddler crawling around on the grounds of Concrete U. And so it's in my DNA. Right. You've never, ever repped the black college, the Mecca, that gave you your foundation. Why?
I have definitely worn a Howard hoodie on this shirt. Matter of fact,
no, you haven't.
Room, can y'all find that?
No, there's no evidence.
You always have receipts. You don't have this?
No, we've never seen it.
Go ahead and find it.
We've never seen it.
Yeah, no, I have.
No, we've never seen it. Never seen it.
I talk about it all the time. Yeah, for sure.
But if
I were you, I would be wearing A&M stuff.
The people in the chat room are saying, shame on you, Matt. Shame on you for not representing.
Hey, bring my accusers out right now. Let me show you how
they're saying. They're saying shame on you, Matt. Shame on you. All right, y'all. I'm done. I'm done with Matt. Y'all go to shopblackstardnetwork.com. The glitch has been fixed. It's been fixed. I got it right here. Look, pull it up. Come on, y'all, pull it up. So Giselle Stella jewelry founded by Allie Davis. You see all the items right there on the website. And you see the bracelet, the earrings, you see all of that. We talked about even one of these, we didn't show these Karina earrings. I mean, those are cool. So check those out. So go to shopblackstardnetwork.com. All right, y'all, that's it. So let me thank Candace, let me thank Michael, and let me thank that Howard hater, Matt. Matt, Matt, you should go meditate. You should go pray, and you should resolve.
You should go take a nap.
Matt,
I'm really under your skin tonight.
Matt, you should go resolve whatever issues you have, and next week at least have the decency. Logan is like, please, can the man please at least represent our alma mater at least one time? Matt, I am just the messenger.
Talk to me about that hostile work environment.
Matt, I am just the messenger. I am just the messenger from poor, frustrated, sullen Logan. All right. I appreciate it. I'll let y'all later. Folks, if y'all want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered, join our Bring the Funk fan club. You want to give me a cash out, use the Stripe QR code you see it right here, bottom left-hand corner. That's also for credit cards. PayPal's R Martin Unfiltered, Venmo, RM Unfiltered, Zelle, Roland at RolandSmart.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Check some money order, make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2037-0196. Download the Black Star Network app, Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. Also, if you want the website, app.blackstarnetwork.com, app.blackstarnetwork.com. And so please check that out. Also, folks, you want my book, White Fear, How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds, available at bookstores nationwide. Be sure to check that out as well. If you want to go to, first of all, if you want to get our Roland Martin Unfiltered swag, go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. If you go to the website, you'll see in our marketplace, you're going to see our collection right here. That's right, our shirts. Come on, go to my iPad. Not the right kind of black. That's right, Black on Media Matters. MAGA chose between woke or broke. They chose broke. You got our T-shirts. Hashtag Team Whip That Ass of our Montgomery chair. We got mugs, and we got pillows and all kind of different stuff, hoodies, you name it, we got it. And so go there as well. If you also want to support our black-owned businesses like Giselle Stiller Jewelry, go to shopblackstardnetwork.com. You see all the products. Everything you see to my left over here, HBCU shirts, our car solution, relishes and sauces and skincare stuff, man. We got all black crossword puzzles, everything black. Go to shopblackstardnetwork.com, shopblackstardnetwork.com, and check it out. And I told y'all we were making changes to our web. First of all, yes, get the app, Fanbase. Download the app, Fanbase, and if you want to invest, go to startengine.com/Fanbase. I told y'all if y'all want to, that I was making some changes to blackstarnetwork.com. When you went to the site before, what you would do is you would actually just see access to the app. So we changed that. We work with a black-owned company out of Los Angeles called Quantity. They redid our website. So this is what it looks like. You go to blackstarnetwork. My iPad. This is what it looks like. So when you go to blackstarnetwork.com, you see these are, of course, the segment. But now, a lot of people, necessarily not watching the video, so you take this here. If you want this is the transcript of my conversation, my interview with Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries. We're going to have columns on here. We're going to have originally written stories on here as well. We have all of this on here. Also, and let's see here, we got our donate button up here. I need to have them fix that because I told them I did one just at the bottom. So we're working on that. It literally just went live. You got all your segments. So actually, some of these titles up here are being taken out, but you have on where you can click shop. You can go right there as well. We need to add some stuff to it. Add my books, those products to the website as well. So literally, so this new version of BlackStarNetwork.com is live. And so we got some new stuff coming down the pipeline. I told y'all making some new hires. We got some new shows. I had a great meeting with an advertiser today that committed to a weekly health show. So we working on that. We still are trying to lock down our business show. We got a new daily news show we're launching. So there's a lot of new stuff that we're getting ready for. 2026 is going to be phenomenal. That's why your support is critically important. So again, support what we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. All this stuff, y'all. As a sister I'm talking to, who's going to be a writer for the website. It's another brother I'm talking to about being the editor-in-chief of the website. So there's a lot of things that are happening, y'all. And so your support is critical. So short again, if you want to contribute to our, use Cash App, use the Stripe QR code, credit cards as well. Use that QR code at the bottom left-hand corner. PayPal, R. Martin Unfiltered, Venmo, RM Unfiltered, Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Check some money order, make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. Shout out the Dillard Blue Devils. I'm rocking y'all's shirt today. That is it for us. We always end the show every Friday showing y'all the names of the 37,000 people who have contributed to our show since we launched. If you contribute to us now, your name gets added and you'll see it next week. I'll see y'all Monday from Bermuda.